Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures, and to the surprise of absolutely no one, today we have the Hexmark destroyer for the Necrons for Warhammer 40,000. Yeah, so when you have a 6-armed, 3-legged, gun-slinging, undead, reanimating robot thing, you probably are going to have me reviewing it here. That doesn't look all that big. Then again, considering the price of this guy versus the Mega Gargant that came out the same day as him, this seemed like the better option. Although I wouldn't mind a Mega Gargant, but it's not going to be coming out of my pocket. Okay, he consists of entirely one sprue. That's actually kind of surprising. I figured it'd be a thicker box and 2 half sprues, but it is what it is. Are those individual wires by themselves? Oh, yay. Look at that. We get to glue on individual wires. Huzzah. He does have a 50mm base. I don't think he's going to end up as large as our Scorpic Lord here. Probably more in line with an actual Scorpic destroyer, and I don't know where I put them, but that's a whole different story. We'll hunt them down before we have the final finished product on display here. So, for starters, it doesn't look as flimsy as Xeris and his broken staff that I now have to fix. Unfortunately, he is not finished painting either, so we're not going to be able to show him off. We do have a little bit of debris here to have them posed on top of. I don't know the rules for the Hexmark, if there's a limit on how many you can run at one time. I'm not used to seeing these new fangled rules with all their pictures and iconography. In my day, we had words. Yeah, anyway. Looks like the generator for his back. Spots for plenty of hands, like that. The tripod legs. Yeah, I do have one little flimsy arm there, I guess, and the wires, but hopefully they're all going to slot in nice and neatly. It's interesting that on the chest piece we actually have some of the wiring, I'm assuming that's the wiring, actually molded onto the backside of it. I'm curious to see if it's actually visible when he's put together. That'll be interesting. I probably will ignore painting it, or I'm just going to slop enough paint that you would never notice. And I'm more than likely going to continue with the same colors, well, maybe not as crappy of a job on his blade, but Nihilette colors, if I'm saying it correctly, which I might not be. But anyway, does not look too difficult. We're looking at about almost 20 pieces, so it's a good chunk of parts. It's not Malifaux levels of insanity yet. So give me a sec. We will put him all together and we'll see how he turns out. Alright, we got our Hexmark destroyer all put together. We'll stick his base out there. He doesn't actually attach to the little rubble piece. It's just a little decorative bit, and it's hard to see, but there's actually a little scarab underneath that piece of ruin there. So here is the actual Hexmark destroyer. And I gotta say, it really wasn't as bad as I had expected it to be. Things went together pretty quickly. The wires, which I thought would be more of a hassle, actually really weren't. Everything slotted in pretty nice. I still feel that the limbs on these guys are a bit thinner than I would like. The connection points and the joints themselves on the arms are just a little bit thinner than I would prefer. And with his hunched over position, he feels a little bit smaller than he actually should be, I feel. But that's just me being nitpicky, as always. He is, as I said earlier, on a 50mm base. Let's grab some other Necrons just to give a good idea of what we're looking at. So I had the Scorpic Lord out earlier, I think I did. I can't even remember, but just to give you a good size indicator, there's the Lord, and there is a basic Scorpic destroyer. So about the same size, and I mean they all have that tripod body as well, so that's not really surprising, and you should probably have uniformity in a race that has consigned their souls to machines anyways. So, you know, it is what it is. Surprisingly, and I didn't notice this anywhere prior to building him, but I didn't know that there were actually 2 separate optional heads. Yeah, there's not much else in the way of options these days with a lot of GW kits, but it is always nice to have something. If we can get that in focus, I can better show you, but I guess that's not going to happen. Come on. Anyway, well, we'll just take a look at this one. So the head that I currently have on there, you see he has the 6 eyes in 2 rows of 3 columns, whatever you want to call it. Whereas the other head has them arrayed out in a circular position. Not a big difference, but a difference nonetheless. And come on, he's got 6 freaking guns for 6 freaking arms. Who doesn't like stuff like that? Grabbing a couple other models. We already saw our Scorpic in there. You can take a break there. There's our Marine. Okay. I wish I knew where the Killer Morph was, because obviously that's really what should be hanging around, having a gunslinging duel, but, you know, alas, I cannot find him. I think I don't even have it anymore. I don't know. I don't have any of the other Steelers stuff. I'm rambling, but that's okay. Let's get some other models in here. I keep looking at this guy, and before I realized he had a mouth, my first thought was, you know, it probably would be kind of a cool 15mm support mech of some sort, especially with games like Horizon Wars and Gamma Wolves coming out pretty soon from Osprey as well. Who doesn't want to find cool uses for funky robots to get repurposed besides their original usage, right? You could probably get away with using them something in like this in a post-apocalyptic game as well, but, you know, obviously for his intended purpose, I think he would fit in quite fabulously. And he is, as I said, a heck of a lot cheaper than picking up yourself a Mega Gargant. You can get a whole, like, 5 of these or 6 of these at that point. Think of the savings. I guess if you really wanted to have an entire squad of these guys, you could do that then. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit cheaper, but I basically could say that about every single GW character model that ever gets released these days. For almost the same price, I could have grabbed, you know, a new Wonderworld, I don't know, that is Warhammer Underworld's Warband, or a Warcry team, or a Blood Bowl team, or any other variety of things, Necromunda gang from GW itself, but, you know, the prices are what they are, and that's an entirely separate discussion that could go on and on. But overall, a fun little kit, and I look forward to getting him painted up as soon as possible. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.